Singapore. City-state, small, outward-looking, and you know the US well. Huge, naturally inward-looking because it's huge. What should the US and Singapore be learning from each other?
Well, Singapore is a pretty remarkable story. If you have studied them, 40 years ago, they had nothing. They have no water, no energy, no natural resources, no agriculture. They basically started literally from scratch. And now on a PPP basis, their GDP is higher than the United States. Last year they grew at 14%. And it's an interesting example because they basically really do apply innovation best practices and competitiveness best practices. And one example of that is on the group that I'm a co-chair of there on innovation. Everyone comes from someplace else in the world. They're looking out at the world. They're looking at who's the best at whatever it is. What does it mean for Singapore, and how can Singapore do it? And when possible, how can Singapore do it better? They're looking out. That is a fundamental principle for any company or any innovator, looking out at your customers, looking out at the competition. In America, like in most big countries, we tend to look in. We tend to compare ourselves against our local standards, not what's going on in India or China or Singapore. And of course, that puts you in jeopardy. And we should learn how to do that. Obviously, this conference is a nice example of this. But we don't do it nearly enough with nearly enough seriousness if we want to compete and remain the innovation leader in what I call the innovation economy. Yes, it's driven by ideas, but what we're all about is creating value for our customers.